So.
All right, let's call this meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, it looks like most, if not everybody's been here before, but just in case you haven't, or you want a reminder, the exits are over here in the back of the room over here and over on the other side over here. Please silence all of your devices of all kinds, watches, phones, and anything else you might have. We will be following the rules and procedures adopted by this board earlier this year. There are agendas over on the table. Please, if you have it, please sign in. Make sure we have everybody on the list. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you that if anything does happen, follow Ron. He'll be the first one out. So we don't want to upstage Ron for that. I mean, you know,
Are your rules and procedures?
part of my rules and procedures. Okay, with that, the next item on the agenda is the approval of the September 18th meeting minutes. Do I have or did everybody get a chance to review them? Any comments, changes? Do I have a motion to approve? Motion by Tim, seconded by Adrian. Any other comments? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Legal notice. Now I got to read this one. The chairman attests to there being no legal notices published for tonight's meeting in the town's official newspaper. Had my name in it, so I had to read it. Order of business, a continued public hearing on the preliminary site plan for Sky Solar East and Sky Solar West. So come on up, Frank, and we'll let us know what's going on. How you doing?
The last time we were here.
Yep.
We updated a set of plans for Town South 3.
Mhm.
We have now an east and west set of plans.
Correct?
Staff has reviewed, we have a number of conditions.
Yep. Okay.
Consider.
Would you like me to go over the main changes or?
I mean, you can go over, yeah, just give me a summary of the changes, if you would, for the audience anyway.
So this is our as of design.
Right.
The main thing that we did since last time was add access pads.
Okay.
Services, which then ended up configuring that pond.
Right.
Contingent basin and, just cleaning it up with some other comments, like simple things, but nothing else major.
Perfect. Okay. All right, Ron.
Yeah, I drafted, since we're combining both public hearings,
Right.
I drafted 4 resolutions for your consideration
Right.
tonight. 2 of them, depending on what we hear,
Right.
I would close the public hearings and allow you to move on to conditional approvals for the east and west
Right.
solar farms.
Okay.
Oh, I do want to enter into the record that I did hear from Jonathan Orpin, who owns the land there that New Energy is on.
Correct.
He's still in agreement with the redesign and relocation of the road, and he and Frank have been working together to get the attorneys involved and get this thing resolved, which will be a condition of final.
Right. It'll be a condition of final, so, okay. Dan?
Yeah, so the staff has reviewed, and put together comments. Those were given to Ron to be part of your draft resolution. The applicant has also went to the PRC meeting and presented to that group. And, everything has been reflected in the draft resolution.
Perfect. Perfect. Harold?
That's Paula.
Oh, Paula. Great. Paula?
I'm all set.
Highway,
I have nothing to add.
engineering.
Yes, MRB Group did issue a letter dated October 10th. Honestly, the plans themselves are in good shape. We did have a number of comments. Most of our comments really are in regards to phasing. Being that you have two separate applications, one west and one east, I think the intention, as I understand it to be, is to build both of them relatively at the same time. However, we have to look at it with the understanding that it's possible, based on the approvals and the applications, that the east could be built separately or the west could be built separately without the other one occurring. So I have a number of comments related to phasing and or reflecting a construction sequence under the understanding that that could happen.
Right.
So I apologize for some of the items that are listed in our comment letter. I think there's most certainly some wiggle room there that you have. I'm not looking for, it to be a standalone project, but I do need some crossing over as to what if the west was built first? Well, then the stormwater facilities would be obligated to be to some degree incorporated. I'm not looking for the plans to be changed to show that, but maybe some notes and references as to how that would be completed. I hope that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, thank you. Robin,
I'm all set.
would you talk a little bit about the sidewalk and the placement? Because I know that the residents kind of talked about wanting to flip it.
Yeah, we don't recommend sidewalks over top of water mains,
Right.
and we don't do it usually.
Mm-hmm.
The reason is water mains break way more often than sanitary and stuff like that, and then we end up digging up sidewalk and all the other stuff, and to get it compacted again and back so that we can put sidewalk back over it is quite an ordeal.
Okay,
So it's just, it's better off not to even go there.
I just wanted to bring it up so we knew where we were at. Okay. All right, all the residents, let me kind of summarize what we've done and where we're at. So we opened this process up with the State Environmental Quality Review, which we determined that there was no significance or non-significance, is that the right term, for environmental record for this project. That was determined. We then did the special use permit. And we, with conditions, I believe, approved the special use permit for both east and west, or at that time, I think it was one project, but we got them both approved. We're now in the site plan. We now have two separate entities, east and west. And so what we're looking for tonight is feedback on the site plan itself as we move forward, and we'll go there. Now, there aren't many in the room, so I'm not going to put a 3-minute timer on. But if you start running long, I'm going to have to put a timer on. So keep an eye on that. You think about that. And with that, I'm going to turn on the mic. Everybody, every conversation you have will be recorded for life or forever. Let me say that. Okay, the microphone is on. So with that, do I have anyone who wants to speak for or against this application tonight? This is the preliminary site plan on east and west. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bill Shaw, 5976.
Okay,
Also electrical inspector for Commonwealth.
correct.
And I have a lot of experience with these type of structures.
Okay,
As I'm looking at the site plan, I'm seeing the collection of inverters over on one side of the west side.
correct.
And I doubt that the engineer could treat it as two separate solar standalone systems. They can't build it that way. So notice. Joel Sheldon was supposed to be here. He's ill. He had 2 questions for you tonight. The first question is, he was talking with Frank about repositioning the upper retention pond. It seems that that's been done.
Yeah.
And the question is, evergreen screening going to be done on the east side at this point?
East side of the west of it.
The
Sorry, east side.
east array,
East-
is there going to be additional plantings along the outside of the fence line that was being attempted?
Got a pretty significant buffer, if I'm not mistaken, don't we?
So we have a significant buffer.
Right.
We've discussed evergreens. The issue is we would need to take down existing buffering to put in evergreens. So we're not sure that that is a benefit to that east line.
Is that something that's open to negotiation later?
Well, that would be something we would make the decision on. So we appreciate the feedback, but we'll consider that one, but,
So in the resolution, I might just add, in the resolution is a comment about the landscaping plan.
right,
So we'll be discussing with staff and looking at that. So
right.
as an option.
Okay, on page in the print C501, and I must comment that your staff did their due diligence. And what I was reading from when I downloaded of the questions that they had. On most of the fences that I see at solar sites, when they open the gate, there's no top header that stays in place. So one of the questions I saw, what happens to the barbed wire retainer that's up there? That goes with the gate that's swung. My question is, what's missing off of that detail is the fence line and the perimeter grounding and fence bonding. I went through the prints, I didn't see anything of the detail on the fence bonding. It's not when or if one of these places get hit by lightning, they all get hit, and those fences light up like the inside of your toaster. I've been on, so that's
Okay.
something that's missing.
Engineering, please take that under consideration.
Yeah, they'll have their electrical plan at some point in time as part of the project that they'll document
We
and know.
also added that detail related to that. There's a lot of detail pages on that one plan. I don't remember what number it's on.
Well, I'll
but
lead you to
it's
article
that.
690-41 and 250-134.
Okay,
reference. The other thing, a while back during the environmental impact, which we're over,
yeah,
the fire chief submitted a letter that all his gentlemen have received training.
correct.
I talked to the battalion commander down in Danville of the New York State Fire Training Academy, where they do hazmat training at level 0, 1 through 4. And these lithium ion magnesium batteries are considered a hazmat 0. That means hands off, let them burn.
Okay,
And my reading this month on the National Fire Protection Agency website is, even though there's a fire suppression system put in,
Mhm.
their comments on they don't work.
okay,
So.
thank you for the feedback.
Thank you.
Okay, who else in the room would like to speak for or against this application? Yes, sir.
I had the opportunity today to review,
Please, your name.
I'm sorry, I need name and address.
John Grady, 6018 Medfield Drive.
Okay, John.
So I reviewed what I thought were the current plans, of the, site plan, and they were dated, 9/25. Is that what the date is of the latest?
She says, yeah.
On plat C 202. The sidewalk and the lights are still located on the east side of Commercial Drive.
Correct.
Even though we have many members of the residents who have asked if they be moved to the east side.
Did you hear the conversation by the water and sewer?
I did hear that.
Okay.
And I don't find it to be valid.
Okay,
There's no reason why the water main can't still remain on the east side, and the sidewalk and the lights could be moved to the west side. The limit of disturbance shown on the plans near the 6018, 620, 625 area is only 43 feet from the property line.
okay,
That is considerably less than what is recommended for the location of a solar field. In plat C 402, the grading and erosion control plan. The emergency spillway from bioretention number 1 directs overflow directly toward lots number 62 and 63, which includes runoff from 15,000 square feet of impervious surface, the road, which adds 43,000 gallons of water per month to that runoff. That would be in the summertime. On plat C 504, construction details. The street light detail of Beacon TRA 30. The question, is that directional or a non-directional?
You guys can answer that one. I don't know the
It's
answer.
the specific, Farmington, like, that's
Okay.
required, so I honestly don't know.
It's whatever.
It's our light head that's throughout the entire town.
Okay. Standard light standard.
So it is non-directional.
Right.
Right.
I asked
It's
that
the standard throughout the town.
because it's gonna be in our backyards. That's why I asked. On C 507, construction details. Is the crosswalk, going to be in an uncontrolled intersection?
Dan?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
If that crosswalk is moved to the south part of Commercial Drive, will that still be an uncontrolled intersection?
Yes.
Yes, because there's no controlled intersections through that road from one side to the other.
I realize that, but you're bringing four roadways together at that intersection. And if you were to put a crosswalk there, you would want to control it. And I don't understand why you wouldn't have a control of it. In C 601 landscaping plan, the location of plantings are not shown on the east side of the east solar field. Is that,
That's what we were just talking about a second ago.
that'll be correct?
You gotta talk to me. Remember, you're asking the questions to me.
That is
We
lack,
talked about that a second ago, and the landscaping plan will be, updated and completed for the final.
the landscaping plan, was that landscaping plan designed by a licensed New York State landscape architect as required in the NTOD?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, they have them on staff, I believe.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else in this room like to speak for or against this application? That's some good questions. Dan?
On page C 511, the grounding, of the fence is shown in their typical grounding details, so that is in their plan.
Oh, the grounding is in there?
Yes.
Okay. Say that one more time. Where was that?
That was on page C 511.
Okay,
They have a typical grounding detail for the fence.
thank you. Anything else?
Not the case.
Okay. So anyone else like to speak for or against this application in the room? One more time, anyone in the room like to speak for or against this application? Okay, let's move to online. Anyone online like to speak for or against this application? Anyone online like to speak for or against this application? Okay, we don't have any. So, board, Tim?
No.
Nothing? Okay, Doug?
I had a couple things. I didn't see any locations of any of the topsoil piles on this.
I'm not sure, I'm not sure if that's exactly called out, but if we would, oh, no, it's next to, there's this little, rectangle here next to the, staging yard that were, called out for the, where we could stockpile topsoil for the time being. It might not be, when we split the plans, going back, I think we need to add some extra notes. But there is only the staging yard and the topsoil section is just on the west side, just from space constraints. But that was, the plan is to use that area for both the east and the west.
And then it's large enough there to accommodate all the areas you're stripping out there?
Yeah,
Okay. And kind of along with that, I was just looking to, I thought it'd be a good idea just to add a note to the drawing stating that the no topsoil is to be leaving the site, because I know it's part of special use, but as contractors are looking at this.
Yeah, and we've had issues with topsoil before.
Yeah, yeah.
This wouldn't be our first topsoil rodeo.
Yeah, some of these other comments are kind of more just profound, showing like where the electrical trenches actually are on the, going to be running out there. The screening, like we discussed, was something else.
Right.
So then, from that, and then obviously, for final, I would be looking at the plan actually stamp and sign.
Right.
So, That's.
Cool. And based on the conversation earlier, make sure you show where the gates are gonna be grounded to too as well. Just make sure that's in there, so we make sure we answer the question. Adrian?
Some of it's been answered tonight already, but the one I did have was why are we lighting this street? I know they've been talking about it, but why is the street being lit? Because of the solar farms or something for?
I think it has to do more with the curves and,
Yeah.
See the curves of the road.
yeah,
The
but then,
entire street is.
And the other end of the street has lights on it already.
yes, it does.
One.
One there, but even the lighting isn't gonna be the whole road.
No,
No, it looked like 3 or 4.
it's
Yeah.
at the curbs and then at the crosswalk.
At the curve, at the crosswalk, and probably one at the entrance too. Okay, anything else? Regina? Okay, and I don't have anything at this moment. How does the board feel about closing the public hearing and moving forward with the resolutions with conditions that we were provided? Now, so you know the process before I continue on, we would typically go then into a final site plan after this. We would typically not have a public hearing on the final site plan, but since there's so much interest and since we like seeing all of you, I think we're gonna recommend a
Public meeting.
public meeting.
If you close the public hearing tonight, and you wanna have a public hearing on final, then you gotta re-advertise.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because we're gonna go through and say everything's complete and go through that whole process again and redo the public hearing. That way we got an official public hearing.
If the board feels there's enough need.
What does the board feel about that? I mean, I think that this citizens ought to be given a second shot at the project in final. What do you think?
Yeah. Do we just keep it?
So do we just keep it open then? I mean, I wouldn't keep it open
It's up to you.
per se. We're gonna go through the same process that we go with this complete, go ahead and do the public hearing and that, so.
You've had many public meetings where you've taken
Right.
information from the public without designating them as public hearing.
I understand. Okay, so first item up then is PB 0408-24, resolution to close the public hearing on the East project. Anybody have any problems? Do I have a motion to approve that resolution as presented?
So.
Moved by Doug, seconded by Regina. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Kim DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Gina Souza. Aye. Adrian Bellis. Aye. Ken Henry.
Aye. Next item up is PB's. I didn't ask the question. You're okay with the conditions on both of these? I kind of figured you were, but I just want to get that on the record. PB 0408-24, Sky Solar East preliminary site plan approval with conditions. Any comments? Do I have a motion to approve, waive the reading and approve the resolution? Moved by Doug, seconded by Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Gina Souza.
Aye.
Adrian Bellis. Aye. Ken Henry.
Aye. Okay, PB 0409-24, Sky Solar West Project, closing of the public hearing. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve that resolution as presented? Moved by Doug. Seconded by Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Gina Souza.
Aye.
Adrian Bellis.
Aye.
Ken Henry.
Aye. Last item on this one, PB 0409, Sky Solar West, preliminary site plan approval with conditions. Any other comments? I have a motion to approve without reading? Moved by Adrian, seconded by Tim. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote.
Kim DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Gina Souza.
Aye.
Adrian Bellis.
Aye.
Ken Henry.
Aye. All right, so now for the citizen, the next time you'll see something is when we get a notice that we are accepting the final site plan as completed, ready to have a public hearing and or public meeting, public hearing, whatever, something public where you can at least comment on it and move forward with that at that point. So that's what you'll see. That's not a big deal. There'll be no comments that night, but then there'll be a public meeting / hearing set for you to come in and give your comments on the final site plan, which we hope will have, which will have all these conditions in it and completed, as well as anything else we might come up with. So I wanted you to know the process, so you're good to go. Okay, got another comment. What's up?
For the town engineer, we were, speaking about the lighting that Adrian was pointing out, that this is the first solar site that I have seen light poles on a solar site. That makes them the highest point of energy over a solar site. You're building a battery, you're building a coil. Those will be hit eventually by lightning, and I don't see the reasoning of putting site lighting on a solar project.
Okay. Engineering will take a look at that.
Town road.
Huh?
I said the
The town road, it's on the road, so,
That's inside the fence line.
don't think there's anything inside the fence line.
The black dots are all literally tied to the drawing that shows street light on the drawing, so
The
to
vast
me,
majority of those are poles. The lights have a little angled, line coming off them, the poles are just straight lines.
okay.
All right, let's move on. We already took the public comments and we'll move forward. You can talk about it at the final site. Okay? If you guys want to bail out, we're going to start next up with the Farmbrook subdivision phase 7A, 7B. Okay? Thanks, guys. Make sure you, and I know you don't have to tell you this, but work with staff, get it in with all the changes and we'll be ready to go. We'll get it signed and you can submit the final, okay? Thank you, folks. Next item up, Farmbrook subdivision phase 7A, 7B, partial letter of credit release. Right? That's where we're at?
Yep, standard procedure. All the department heads have signed off on it. We're good to go for the partial.
Clean and green, ready to go.
Second partial release.
Okay, you guys are good enough. You guys are all okay. Everybody's good. Okay. Does the board have any questions? No. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve the Farmbrook subdivision phase 7A, 7B letter of credit release 2? Motion by Tim. Second by Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, next item up is the Scott Blasey preliminary site plan for lot 2. Determination of incomplete application. Come on, okay, nobody here?
Ed, I can, Mr. Hubbinger, I can speak for it. This is Brennan Marks.
Okay.
This is Brennan Marks, Marks Engineering.
Hey, Brennan, how you doing?
Good.
So you know
go
the
ahead.
staff determined it's incomplete
Okay,
because of not showing the subdivided property on the preliminary site plan. Is that right? Am I saying that correctly? So when we change that to the 3-lot subdivision, are you gonna close that door for me? Thank you. When you change it to the 3-lot subdivision, you never showed that on the preliminary site plan. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
it's just the first I've heard of it, but okay.
All right, the resolution's been out there for a while and says it was incomplete, so if you'd had a chance to look at the resolution, you'd have known about it. So basically, we have a resolution to say that it's incomplete, so we're not gonna do anything with it tonight. When you get the completed information to staff, we'll have another one of these that says, okay, we've got everything, it's complete, we can put it on for the next meeting after that and put it in the public hearing and all that good stuff. Does that make sense?
Okay,
Okay. So we have a resolution that says that PB 1001-24 is Let me just make a second, I got this right one. No. 0903-24, preliminary site plan for lot 2 is incomplete. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve this resolution? Moved by Doug, seconded by Regina. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Do you have a revision to the third whereas?
Oh, yes, I do. Let's get this third whereas. The third whereas is the planning board has earlier tonight accepted the final subdivision plat, which is, I think that's what we're doing next, right?
Right, yeah.
So, we're scheduling public hearing where testimony is received that the preliminary site plan involves lot 1 or 2, not lot 1. So and you've got the changes to the verbiage, okay? So this is a motion, let's see, we had a motion and a second with the conditional change to the third whereas. Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Militia? Aye. David? Aye. Regina Souza? Aye. Adrian Bell? Aye.
Aye. Okay, we forgot we changed that. I forgot we did that. So now we go to PB 1001-24. This is the 3-lot subdivision, acceptance of the application and ready to schedule a public hearing for this. Again, this is pretty basic. This is the new thing we're doing now to make sure things are complete before we schedule them. This is ready to schedule. I assume you don't have any issues with this one, Brandon?
As long as it's complete, I'm all right with it.
Okay, all right. Staff have anything? I have a motion to waive the reading and approve this resolution as presented. Moved by Doug, seconded by Adrian. Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Militia? Aye. David? Aye. Regina Souza? Aye. Adrian Bell? Aye. And Hamilton.
Aye. Okay, now we have, I'm trying to follow. I love this cheat sheet you sent us. Please do this more often. I love it. PB 1002-24, Jeff Shearer, representing the Alexander Shear 5-lot preliminary subdivision plat. We're doing the determination of completion. We're gonna do the seeker unlisted. We're gonna refer it to the county planning board, schedule a public hearing for November 20th, and establishing a 30-day seeker coordinated review. We need a coordinated review on an unlisted action, correct?
Because there's more than one agency involved with permits.
Okay, so that's what we're doing. I assume you don't have any issues with all of that. We're just doing administrative paperwork.
Gotcha.
Okay? So staff have anything with that one? Board have anything? Do I have a motion to approve the resolution for PB 1002-24 and waive the reading?
So move.
Moved by Doug, seconded by
Adrian.
Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Militia? Aye. David? Aye. Regina Souza? Aye. Adrian Bell? Aye. And Hamilton.
Aye. Now we have the, on that one there, we need to change the verbiage in the third whereas, where it says planning board has earlier tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. Trying to figure out what I have here. This is the preliminary site plan, never mind, this is the next one anyway. Oh, no, that's a subdivision, this is the preliminary site plan. So the one we got right now is the PB 1003-24. Preliminary site plan as being incomplete. This one here needs to be changed in the third whereas. The planning board has early tonight, instead of granted, it needs to say accepted as being complete. The final subdivision plat, remove approval, and then we're good to go on that. Okay, now this one is incomplete. Ron, tell them why it's incomplete.
It's a site plan for a lot that doesn't exist.
Okay, because we haven't completed the subdivision yet, so it's just premature. So, I think we're good to go there. Again, always work with staff on these. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve this resolution with changes? Moved by Adrian, seconded by Doug. All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry, clerk, take a roll call vote.
Where have you changed? This is 1/003/24. I only see two
I'm sorry. This was back on, that was back on Blakey, I just haven't picked the right one up.
1/003/24, there's only two whereas.
Never mind, I was on the wrong one. Okay. So, 1003/24, we're good to go on that one.
Don't let them get away with it.
We had a second and a first, yeah, a move and a second. Clerk, yeah.
Tim DeLucia. Aye. Doug Leeds. Aye. Regina Super. Adrian Bell. Aye.
Aye. You need to go back though to, 0903. And we'll fix that third whereas.
We
We did it.
Okay, you already did it. Okay. All right.
Another email came out after that one.
Yeah, I sent one out and said there's gonna change them. Ooh, okay. So did we get everything? No, we got one left. No, two more left.
04 and 05.
Yeah, 04 and 05. So PB 1004-24, Noel Peretta. Preliminary site plan, accepting the application and scheduling it for the next meeting on November 6th. Anyone have any comments anywhere? Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve that resolution, please?
Yes. I did have an email earlier today from, it was either Mark or Noel, I'm not sure which. And she was questioning that they're not changing anything on the site. And she thought the resolution said for the changes to the site plan. And then there is no changes, it's what's there now that we're approving.
Okay.
It,
Noel, did you understand that?
Yes, I did. I did understand it. I'm traveling right now, so I was not able to email Ron back.
Oh, that's fine. Fine. So you're good that we're just doing this paperwork for this one, right?
Yes, yep.
Okay, all right.
So everything on the site is pre-existing.
Yeah,
yeah,
yep.
but for a temporary use permit, you have to have a site plan. Doesn't say the site plan can't be existing uses.
Okay, so did we got a motion and a second?
No.
No.
Just a
Do I get a motion?
Second by Tim.
Motion by Tim, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Leeds. Aye. Gina Souza. Adrian Bell.
Aye. Okay, next item up, PB 1005-24, Allen and Dale Sadler, final 2-lot subdivision acceptance of the application, scheduling a public hearing for November 6th. It's gonna be a big, that's gonna be a big meeting. Anyone have any comments on that one?
Mr. Hevinger, it's Brendan Marks again. Just if you guys have questions, I am here to answer them.
Thank you, sir. Anybody have anything?
Nope.
Okay, got a motion by Adrian to move it, seconded by? Yeah, Regina. Okay, any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Leeds.
Aye.
Regina Souza. Adrian Bell.
Aye. Okay, that takes us through all of the other board actions. Thank Brendan for being online.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Open discussion, Ron.
Okay, been working with Lance and updating the sidewalk trail master plan map for the town.
You mean birthday boy?
The birthday boy.
Happy birthday, Lance.
This is the way it should be spent.
Everyone. Well, actually,
On that day.
actually, his wife called, said, don't keep him too long because he's got to get to bed.
Oh,
I have no idea whether he's tired or what.
nothing about that one.
Next is the Ag Advisory Committee last
Yep.
week. Met, they decided that they want to, pull the Ag Conservation Overlay District regulations out and address that as a separate local law. And, they asked me to make arrangements with Ontario County Planning, which I did. I'm going to be going there on Wednesday, November 6th. And hopefully we'll be here, I'm gonna be a little late. But, explain to them what we're doing. And to get some feedback from them on the, direction we're going here with this. The, EFOPs, we've got a new system. And some of you don't have problems and others do. So, Doug gave me his and Regina gave me hers. I understand you can't get in the building department, which Dan is very happy about.
That's right.
You'll be unhappy if I gotta come in and make some, sign some documents. Exactly.
Makes it smart.
Adrian, you're good all ins?
I'm going on the door in the mailroom. I mean, that's all I ever had permission before, so I'm good.
Okay. And then,
Maybe it'll win some-
you're gonna bring your key fob in and run it through the test
Yes. I will.
for us.
Did you need mine for that? Or you guys are having problems down there too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're still working.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a a labor of love. I mean,
Yeah.
like any new system, there's a few bugs to be ironed out. So, when I get them ironed out, I will have either Marcy or I contact you, Regina, to come in and pick up your key fob. Same with you, Doug. We'll find out what the problem is with you. And you need to get into the building department.
Yeah, I'll come in and check it
Adrian, you don't need to worry about that because you've never been there before. Okay.
out.
Thanks.
Yeah.
The next thing is the Ontario County, is looking for a town board resolution for the, acceptance of the hazardous mitigation plan that they have been working on diligently
Right.
for all these many, many, many months. And, the town board will be acting on that Tuesday night. I'm still trying to draft a resolution to deal with that because the one they came up with doesn't real work. So, that's that. Dan and I, have been working also with Lance on making changes to the appendices for the site design and development criteria manual. There are a few changes and we'll be working with those changes as we, continue to iron out all the kinks over the years here that have resulted as a result of the state changing everything.
Mhm.
Last thing is I sent you all
Bunch of readers here.
from the Association of Towns meeting that
Yep.
Ann and I attended down in Corning. And Peter has said, read through that. If you have questions about any of it, bring them up at a meeting and we'll discuss them. It's a easy 2-hour credit for your
Yep.
training. And if you're already at the max for this year, you know you can carry over.
Yep.
All right, so you got a head start on next year if you're in that boat.
Yep.
I think the issue there on the Article 78, the presentation, which by the way just happens to be from Corey Auerbach, who is Angelo Ingrazia's attorney. By the way, he hasn't heard anything from Angelo either. Basically, was excellent.
Good.
And he stresses the importance of making your decisions and your findings part of the record. Because when it goes to an Article 78, they don't introduce new stuff.
Right.
They look at the record, see what you called for. Did you get it? If you did you make a well-informed decision? If you have, it makes it very difficult to overturn your decision. So that's my report.
Let me kick off on something before I forget it. Just a reminder, I know it's been a while since we've had any real comments on any of the resolutions, but try to look at them over the weekend and get us something by noon on Monday so we can get it to staff. Most of them have been pretty basic. I mean, not basic, but no real controversy in them. But if there is something you want to review or change or something like that, get it to me by noon on Monday, get it to me, and I'll get it to staff. So, okay, Dan.
All right, I just want to elaborate on a couple things Ron touched on. The site design, yes, I've been working with Ron and Lance, but we've also reviewing the other areas with water and sewer and highway, and the storm. So every part of that book is getting looked at, and MRB is doing a great job at updating all the sections.
You're a
Also-
busy guy there, birthday boy.
That's why he's gotta go to bed early.
I know.
With the key fob, there's a couple other things happening here at the town hall. If you happen to go downstairs right now, you'll see that the downstairs is completely emptied. They will start remodeling, either next week or the week after. And that will be closed off until probably March, by the time they get all the remodels done downstairs. So,
By then they'll have the bowling alleys in.
maybe.
Maybe.
So your next meeting, obviously you got 3 or 4, it looks like, plans coming in, and then only a few on the 18th, which is the week right before Thanksgiving. So,
The ones that we pulled into till the 6th look like pretty basic ones.
yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna be very quick on the 6th. So.
When is the 18th compared to Thanksgiving?
Yeah, sorry, November 20th, I misspoke. Yeah, the 20th. It's the week after.
Okay, that's good then.
But again, I think November is gonna be a lighter month for you, and then, I anticipate December maybe to picking back up. We'll see where solar goes. Speaking of solar, Ron and I have a meeting coming up for another solar project. And I received a phone call end of last week, inquiring about another location for solar. So you might have a couple more solar projects coming your way.
Interesting.
Yes. So, hailstorm, we're still dealing with, very
me about
busy with that. And I'm excited to announce that the building department is finally back up to full staff.
Nice.
You might have, well, you all should have received an email from Lexi.
Yep.
In regards to your OneDrive account, to be able to log in to get your files. Hopefully, everybody was able to do that at this point. Between her and Paula, you'll start seeing stuff come out. Paula, as I introduced last meeting, is our new zoning officer. She's gonna also be helping with planning.
Nice.
So, we're throwing a lot at her to learn both.
She can handle it.
Both sides of things, so, we will try to turn things around as quickly as we can for you, but
Perfect.
we're working on it.
The only thing, as we discussed in the hallway, if you get applications in you think are not complete, call me and we'll just not put them on the agenda. We don't need to be putting them on the agenda if they're not complete. Just tell them flat out, complete this darn thing or we're not even putting you on the agenda. We don't need to have it on the agenda if it's not complete.
And as I mentioned to you, sometimes that's difficult.
Well, it's not difficult because all you gotta do is call me and I'll say no. It's not difficult at all.
So,
Because then you could say, hey, I don't have anything to do with it. The chairman said no. Really, I mean, it's just a waste of time. Everybody's time to do it and to have it incomplete. I mean, unless anybody has a problem. You guys want to see incomplete application? I don't think we want to. Now, unless there's something really weird in there, but I don't see any reason to do that. So, for what it's worth, that's my thoughts, okay? You don't even know the half of that one. Paul, anything? Okay, highway.
So update on Fernbrook, they got their final grade done on alfalfa. They'll be paving that tomorrow.
Nice.
Hope to get the final grade done on Meadowbrook and pave that on Friday.
Well, it's gotta be close to them closing, darn, isn't it? The asphalt?
That'll probably be open a few weeks into November.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, unless the weather really turns.
Yeah.
Then they know, but.
We hope not.
plans to keep it open, so yeah, they got time, although
Cool.
they're running out of time with us. But,
There you go.
so hopefully that'll be done this week.
Okay, anything else?
We started putting plow frames on today, if you wanna know that. When it starts snowing in the Adirondack.
Yippee! Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, town cleanup this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah, town cleanup.
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. Okay, town engineer.
No, I think Ron and Dan kind of highlighted a lot of what.
Yeah, you've been busy.
I'm good, thank you.
Robin, thanks for coming in. I want to make sure you got that comment in on the sidewalk. Certainly they're gonna, huh?
My first rodeo.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna continue to want to change that one, I'm pretty sure. But there's no reason to put a sidewalk on top of water and sewer lines. It just doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh, and if you change sides with it, then it changes, it's gotta go under the road.
Well, it's gotta go under the road, and it's gotta go back under the road, and then that compromises the road in the end, and anytime they do it, it just doesn't make any sense, so. Okay, planning board members, anything?
Yeah, when are they gonna airlift that bridge in for the sidewalk on County Road?
Right now, sometime in December. It may be a Christmas present, maybe a, don't know for sure.
All I want for Christmas is a bridge.
On a sleigh.
You still gotta,
Might.
Anything else?
build the approaches to it.
From me, I continue to do what I gotta do and sign I signed what? 40 pages the other day?
Yes, you did.
They held them up and had me do it all at once with a bad hand, all of that. It's like, it's crazy. No, I'm okay. No public, so all in favor? Oh, well, I'm sorry. Motion to adjourn by Regina, seconded by Doug, all in favor? All right, let's get this thing rolling. We got it in 40 minutes, 41, that's not bad. Or 50.